It is Kenny from Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Welcome to my channel. As always, I've deeply appreciated all the support, all the fabulous comments, and just the general support. I'm really touched of the following worldwide. Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate that. I mean that in the deepest way. In this video, I'm gonna do a comparison between 4 digital sources and 2 analog sources of the groundbreaking Herbie Hancock Headhunters LP. But before that, as always, I got to recognize the spotlight. An Evening with Harry Belafonte and Nano Muscuri. Nano Muscuri, a fabulous international singer from Greece. What a great voice. Equally a great voice. Harry Belafonte, also a civil rights activist. Wow. Great album. But like I said, in this test, I'm gonna do the comparison of the Herbie Hancock Headhunters album. Like I said, it's gonna be 4 digital sources, 2 analog sources. And as always in my videos, I gotta hit you with this disclaimer, in that this is a listening test. Okay, it's not a scientific test. All you hardcore audiophiles out there, it's not a scientific test. It's just a listening test. What I do is I listen to these sources, and I determine with my ears, my old ears, by the way, what's the best sounding, and I rank them. That's all I do. And these things, like I always say, is subjective. These tests are always system dependent, system setup dependent, ear dependent, and personal opinion dependent, because we all have personal opinions in terms of what we think music should sound like. So if you were to do this exact same test on your system, the results may vary. So I'm just letting you know in advance. And also, I want to real quickly, as I always do, run down the equipment I'm using during this test. Just so you know, I'm using a Riga P8 turntable with a Feta 3 cartridge, a West, that's WHEST 0.20 phono stage. I'm using a Sony HAP Z1ES HDD high res player, a Luxman DA06 DAC, and a Sony XA9000 ES Super Audio CD player. Now, when I'm listening to these sources, I try to pick out moments or sections of songs, just as a source of comparison. For example, on Watermelon Man, Bill Summers, I believe he's blowing in bottles. He's making that sound, and that distinctive sound, and that echo and decay of that sound in Watermelon Man. And in Sly, the song Sly, Benny Maupin's solo, the detail of a solo, and also the echo and decay of Herbie Hancock's keyboard throughout the session, and in the depth, dimension, and sound stage, how wide it is, how alive it is, how 3-dimensional it is. Those things I'm looking for and searching for to discern, which one sounds better than the other. On these CD sources, some are so close that I literally had to revert to headphones. Some of them are that close. So I will get to my ranking. Like I said, it's going to be ranked. There are a total of 6 sources, 4 digital, 2 analog, and none of them I would deem as bad. They're really not bad in my opinion. Also, I should tell you what the sources are. This is a CD, just a standard CD. And this is the SBM Super Bit Mapping version of the CD by Sony. This one is a Blue Spec CD issued by Sony. And this one here, I don't know if you can see this close up, but this one is actually the Super Audio CD of Headhunters. Also, I'm using a file I purchased through HD Tracks. It's a 96 kilohertz 24-bit high-res file. that you obviously can't see. Also using this pressing, older pressing. I hope you can see through the glare of the album. And also the Analog Productions Acoustic Sounds 45 RPM version of the album. So I will proceed with my ranking. In 6, and like I said, this is not bad at all. It's a standard CD. It comes in 6. It's the super bit mapping version of the CD. It's not bad. It just doesn't. It's lacking in detail compared to the rest of the sources, which I'm going to tell you in a minute. But it's just lacking a little bit in detail. It doesn't have the it's a little bit slightly lack of word blurry compared to the other ones. It's not it's not defined, I should say, well defined as some of the other ones. Now, this is a blue spec CD, and this is coming in 5th. But here's the thing: this SACD and the blue spec CD are just so freaking close. And like I said, I had to revert to headphones to discern the difference. I just found that the SACD was maybe a little bit more fine in terms of detail than the blue spec CD, but not by much. The margin is like razor close. It really is. But they're better than the standard CD to my ears on my system. So like I said, by the narrowest margins, I would put the SACD above the blue spec CD, but very, very narrow. I mean, they're just razor close. Now, the 96 kilohertz 24-bit HD tracks file is on equal footing with the SACD. It's like, you can't discern the difference on my system. Maybe some of you audiophiles with higher end system can tell a difference, but the difference is so close. In my ears, it just doesn't matter. They're that close. Now, a step up from the digital sources are the analog sources. And second, it's the older issue by Columbia Records. That's in second. And it's a very fine recording. It sounds really good. It's just, like I said, it's a step up from the digital sources. Just hear more depth, dimensionality, soundstage, and detail when you step up to the LP from the digital source. You just simply do. And it's noticeable too. Not by a wide margin, but it's audible. You can hear it. Now, coming in first, and it's like by a wide margin to my ears on my system, it's a 45 Analog Productions Acoustic Sounds 45 RPM version of the record. This is phenomenal. The detail, the depth, dimension, it's a marvelous experience. That's all I have to say. This definitely comes in first. I'm gonna take this wrapper off and show you the inner. This opens up, and it's a marvelous issue of the album. I highly recommend this one without hesitation. The 45 RPM version of the record. Those folks at Analog Productions, Acoustic Sounds, and Chad Castle at that company, they do a marvelous job with their issues. I think they're very meticulous and very careful about what they put out there. And this one was a home run. So, in summary, the Analog Productions Acoustic Sounds comes in first. The standard pressing that I bought back in the day comes in second. Kind of like tied for third is the HD Tracks 96 kilohertz 24-bit file and the SACD. They're like tied for third. Coming in next is the blue spec CD. but it's not too far away from the SACD. They're that close. And coming in last is the standard CD. This is a super bit mapping version of the CD, but that's not bad at all. So I'm sure some of you watching might have your own experiences, your own opinions about some of the pressings and recordings you have. So leave them in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much for viewing my channel. As always, God bless, love, strong peace to all worldwide.